Welcome to Lions Live 365. I'm your host, Michael Ayers, and today we are doing mock draft 3.0. And I just want to let you know, if you are new to this, you will find out that I do mock drafts and I do it a little bit more in depth. I'd add a little pizzazz, and I also add some challenge to it, right? I don't want to do the same thing over and over and over again. So let's look at mock draft 3.0. This is the scenario. We cannot draft anyone from mock draft 2.0. We cannot trade down in round one like everybody is doing. There is a three trade limit, and I must draft scheme fits. So with that being said, let's get into it. I started this particular draft with a trade up. At the end of the day, as far as I see this team has three or four pronounced holes, and I want to at least attack two of them aggressively. With that being said, I trade up from 17 all the way up to 6. I give up my next year first, my next year third, and I get the 6th overall pick. Who was there at 6 that I wanted? Ruben Bain Jr. This is very realistic, mainly because at the end of the day, Ruben Bain may fall, and it has everything to do with his 30-inch arms. I do not care about his arm length. The way this man hand fights is outstanding. He is 21 years old. He is 6'3", 265, up to 280 when he's playing. He has burst. He has bend. He has elite strength. He has an elite pass rush package. He was trained by Jason Taylor, a guy that knows how to get to the quarterback. This is somebody that I have the utmost respect for and utmost belief in. I see how he attacks the best tackles in the league. Just ha 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 ha. Lifting 300-pound men off of their feet consistently. It doesn't matter if you game plan for him. For years, we have struggled to get that power edge, that edge that can play outside, that edge that can play inside. Ruben Bain can do both, and he has the power to hold up against the run, and he actually has some pass rush to him, some elite moves. This is the type of guy that you want on your team. And there are certain things that I would understand if somebody pushed back. Why Bain over Max? Why you giving up 2 firsts and a third? Why are you picking Bain over Max? At the end of the day, Bain is younger, he's healthier, he's cheaper, and he will not cost us any other players that we want. If we want to bring back Gibbs, if we want to bring back Laporta, if we want to bring back Brian Branch, we can get the edge rusher that we need and keep the players that we want. This is a win-win. The only other thing that kind of is like the problem is that you have to give up the capital. And I also felt as though when I went into the second round, I felt like I needed to make another trade, right? So I did make another trade. I traded 50, 128, 157, and 181, 236. I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from with that. The reason I did that is because I watched the tackle class just dwindle. Okay, I'm looking at, okay, oh, there goes Caden Proctor. I'm like, okay, all right. Oh, there goes Max Yanator. Oh, okay, all right. There goes Blake Miller. Oh, how many people left? So I watched 35 pick something, and then I'm sitting there looking like, we got to make sure that the next pick isn't the pick that I ended up making at 36. Let's look at that. Caleb Lomu is the last of the tackles that fit in that tier of tackles where I feel comfortable starting, or I see potential with them being a future starter that can have all Pro Bowl potential. This man is 21 years old. I don't know why, even though he's a redshirt sophomore, that he was listed at 24 online. And then I literally had to look up. His mama say he 21, so I'ma say he 21. He is a great pass blocker. He has good feet, good movement skills. He didn't allow a sack. He does struggle with some elite speed, but at the end of the day, most young players struggle with elite speed. As far as I'm concerned, this kid is a clean, good tackle prospect. If he can't beat out Bourne, I'd be surprised. But I like this guy. With that being said, I did have to pay a heavy cost to go get him just to make sure that we have quality tackle talent coming in. So I didn't go and pick up an extra third round pick like everybody does. I didn't trade down in the second or first round. So that means my next pick is all the way in the fourth round. With that being said, in the fourth round, I picked Jalen Kilgore. He is 6'1", 211. He's 21 years old. He can work out as my big nickel. He's versatile. He can play box safety. He can be a nickel corner. This guy, I'm not a big fan of his tackling, but everything else I'm kind of a fan of, and his ball skills are there. I am actually going to start getting into not only just the edge draft profiles, but safeties, corners, things of that nature. I love this kid, and seeing him there in the fourth round, I had to go. Um, the only other person that I really was sitting there thinking about picking was somebody that was already picked in a former mock draft, and that was Bud Clark. Because I had to trade up in the second round, I traded all our fifth round picks. So with that being said, I don't think I get into the sixth round, but I think I still got a quality player. Jack Kelly is somebody I find very interesting. I'm actually going to do some additional work on him. He's 23 years old. He's 6'2", 246. He's a pretty good blitzer. He's pretty good at anything in which he's running towards the line of scrimmage. I like how he fills gaps and tackles. I'm a big fan of him as a linebacker, period. But he has something to his game where he can really get after the passer, and I really would like to kind of look into that because he can rush the passer pretty well. And he had 10 sacks. Like that is like really like, yo, this dude has something. And one thing I want, because we had to trade so many picks, we need guys to be able to do multiple jobs. So he might have to do some extra special teams. He might be used as a additional pass rusher on third down. I am all for using talent, right? And I think this guy was a good pick, especially all the way in the 200s, right? When you get into the 200s, you need as much help as possible. Moving forward, Harold Perkins was sitting there at 213. I said, you know what? We got to do it. He's 6'1", 222. He's 21 years old. He is a super tweener. I don't know. Like, I don't know. This kid is like, I don't know if he's a linebacker. I don't know if he's a safety. I don't know. The craziest thing is I'm not sure if he's a linebacker or a safety, but I feel like his best attribute is rushing the passer. So it's like he can't be an edge player at 222, but what he can be is a special teams player. He can be a backup depth linebacker. He can be a backup depth safety, and he can be a third down pass rusher that we also use to drop into coverage if we're really trying to get tricky. If we are trying to unlock this defense, I want to get players with versatility like Harold Perkins. Now, not the biggest fan of his tackling, but hey, coaching got to do something. We in the 6th and 7th round. Let's really talk about it. With that being said, I only got one more draft pick left. And I said, hey, let's double, triple, quadruple down on defensive end, right? Round 7, 222, we went and got Vincent Anthony from Duke. This dude is 6'6", 258 pounds, 34 and 1/8 arms. He has all types of traits. He's a flyer. He's flashed some real rush ability, but at the end of the day, the quality of his opponents, you really don't know. The arm length is amazing. He did not test well as far as speed though. So I'm not sure. Like, he doesn't have long speed, but you see the athleticism. Like, it's hard to explain this guy, but I see so many traits, and I'm gonna take a flyer. We talking about 7th round pick, 222. So you gotta take a reach at this point, right? With that being said, that is the totality of the draft. I had to be aggressive, but it did cost us some capital, so maybe the depth isn't where it needs to be. Let me know. Do you like this draft? Would you be happy if Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes were to present this draft to you? Do you think we can start winning if we were to execute on something like this, right? Because one of the things I did notice, they went and got so much depth in free agency. That means we need to start taking some swings on some starters in this draft. Now let's go and look at the recap. aggression is paying off. This is me defining aggressive. I think Ruben Bain, Caleb Lomo, getting all that athleticism in the back end of the draft to fill for more depth and things of that nature. Jalen Kilgore. I think Harold Perkins can be a dog in the league if he gets the right coordinator, and I'm hoping Kelvin Shepard is that coordinator. I think this is a perfect draft. This is a draft that sets us up for years. And this is one of those situations where I'm sitting there thinking, like, if this happened on game day, I'd be ecstatic. Let me know. Do you like this draft? Do you feel like I paid too much? Do you feel like I addressed the needs that we have as a team? Right? I think I did. And there's really no way that you can convince me otherwise. 'Cause I think this is a perfect draft, right? If we trade up for anybody, this is the player that I want to trade up for. And whether it's game day, draft day, or any day in between, it's Lions Live 365. Please like and subscribe. Peace out.